Episode 12. After the suicide. Indamini had punctured his neck with one of the sharp tools. Blood was littered everywhere, and his eyes were shut tight. I couldn't help but blame myself for being a part of this suicide attempt. If only I had waited with him or stopped Detective Gerard from being brutal. Violence should never be used to obtain the truth. I was crying and felt tainted. Detective Gerard rushed in as though he had been called and pulled me out, dragging me out of the room.
What did you think you're doing?
He lashed out.
The man took his life and it was never your fault.
His soul was lost, and you say it was never my fault. I could have led him to Christ. I could have given him my word and had him tell the truth without your violence and torturous ways. He think I sound insane because he said,
Oh, for Christ's sake! What does Christ have to do with this? Must you spiritualize everything? I thought you were smart, but I really don't know now. You are just too impossible.
He walked away, leaving me seated on the bench, devastated. I found my bearings and returned home. I didn't even bother about who the man behind the murder was. It was a horrible sight seeing a man who you were just speaking with moments ago, with a punctured neck and lying in a pool of his own blood. This wasn't what I bargained for when I signed off for this job. I wasn't going back to this. I quit. The hours after witnessing the suicide felt like an eternity. My heart was racing and my mind was spinning in cycles, unable to focus on anything else. I felt like I was in a state of shock, unable to process what I had seen. I was filled with a mix of emotions, fear, confusion, sadness, and guilt. I felt like I should have done something to help the person, but it was too late. I was haunted by the image of the person taking their own life and felt like I was going to be stuck in this state of anxiety forever. I was so overwhelmed with fear and dread that I couldn't sleep. I just lay in bed for hours, trying to make sense of what had happened and wishing I could go back in time and change it. The next morning, I slept on the floor without food or a change of clothes. My phone rang with Chief's contact number. I reluctantly picked up the call. Good morning, sir. I greeted with a sleepy voice.
Good morning, Miss Ella. Congratulations on your victory. You have cracked the case and have been promoted. I await reading the story soon.
Thank you, sir, but I would love to quit this job.
Quit? You can't be serious, right? I just told you you've been promoted.
I heard you, sir, but I need a long break from all this. I hope you understand.
No, I don't. Meet me in my office, Miss Emanuela.
He disconnected the call. I didn't even crack the case. Detective Gerard did, and he should be the one writing the story for them. I shut my eyes in prayer, and the image of Indamini in his pool of blood flashed before my eyes. I immediately opened them. Father, please, I whispered. I would rather say this prayer with open eyes. I did, but still, the weight didn't loosen. I got dressed, ate and left for the chief's office. He was seated on his couch away from his desk, working on some piles of papers on the table set before him. Good day, sir, I greeted.
Miss Emanuela, have a seat.
He said, pointing to a seat across from him. Thank you, I said while sitting down. He looked at me and smiled.
My best journalist, with a touch of detective.
Thank you, sir.
Tell me, how did you do it?
Do what exactly, sir?
How did you crack the case? Detective Gerard called and informed me that you did an excellent job in the field.
Oh, he did, I said, my face falling into a sad expression. My eyebrows drew together, my lips turned downward, My eyes filled with a mixture of sadness and disappointment, and my shoulders slumped in a posture of defeat.
Yes, he did. What exactly happened, Ella? You don't look happy.
Nothing much, sir. I'll get the story across to you alongside my resignation letter.
Were you really serious about resigning?
Yes, sir. I would love to relocate.
Oh, you should have said that. I can transfer you to any state you'll be relocating to. You are a smart journalist, and every media house will be open to receiving you. A commendation letter will be put across for you.
I really appreciate your help, sir, but I have thought long and hard about this. I don't want to be a journalist anymore.
I beg your pardon?
He said, shocked. I want to try something else, sir. He sighed hard, looked at me intensively and asked,
Where do you want to go?